Hey, everybody. How's it going, Grievers and Groovers? The sun is setting. We're in the Mojave Desert. We're in Joshua Tree, California. This is my good friend, Shelley Whizin.
Hi.
Hi. And we came out for the desert for the meteor shower. And Shelley is a life coach and a death midwife. And she runs an amazing company called Love, Life, and Beyond. And it just encompasses all of the deliciousness in the title. And tune in, let us know if you have any questions about what being a death midwife is like, and if you need any life coach advice for, getting through the holidays, whatever you Grievers and Groovers have on your mind, let us know, comment. I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to see what the comments are, but we're going to power through it. But in the meantime, we're just going to chat a bit. And Shelley, the first question I have for you is, a lot of times when I tell people what I do with Good to Go, and tell them about sort of other death positive, groups or people, and I say, oh, there's death midwives, and they're like, wait a minute, what? So they always ask me, what is a death midwife? And then the second question is, oh my gosh, what's it like to be with someone who's dying? So the first question I have for you is, what does a death midwife do?
A death midwife actually is trained to be with people who are dying and beyond that. They prepare the body. If they want to do a 3-day vigil, they prepare the body. They wash the body. They either put their clothes that they would like,
right,
or a cloth or some fabric that they would love to be wrapped in, And so what we do is we are trained to be with them. It's kind of part of, I would say the Twilight Brigade training is similar. It's not similar in what a death midwife is, but it kind of gives you the tools. Wouldn't you say it gives you the tools?
Yeah, definitely. We just mentioned the Twilight Brigade, which is how I met Shelley, because she's the trainer and now the national trainer for Twilight Brigade. And the Twilight Brigade is an organization that believes that no veteran should die alone. And so it's a 3-day intensive training, and you get certified to sit with the dead. And so I love
sit with the dying.
Or sit with the dying. Yeah, sit with the dead.
Not dead yet.
Sit with the dying, and
that's what the death midwife does.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. As long as you're not confused. That's why she does it. That's her job. I'm glad it's your job and not my job. But I want to talk about sitting with the dying, actually, and I haven't put any bedside hours in yet, and I haven't been in that experience. And so I just wondered, a lot of people say, what's it like? So, I know it encompasses a lot, but what is it like to be in the room when someone is dying?
For me, it's such a privilege. It's such an honor to hold the space for somebody to go out. To me, I mean, the term death midwife is perfect, because the first time that I was ever with somebody who was dying, I felt like a midwife, because her body had kind of released. We cleaned her and made her all beautiful as possible, and played beautiful music and sprayed beautiful scents. I mean, it was the most exquisite experience. And when she released, I thought, you know what? We have midwives we hold the space and we're patient for the spirit to come in.
Right.
This is exactly the same, but we're holding the space for the spirit to go out. And it's such a beautiful, honorable privilege. And when you're with somebody in their last breath, it's like seeing human beings, the whole experience of being human right there. We're born, we die, and everything in between.
And do you find that the people who are dying or actively dying, are they afraid, or what is kind of most forefront in their minds, do you think?
I think that's totally individual. Some people are not, some people are. And what we're trained to do is to hold the space for whatever. It's really important. If you ever go, here's a little tip. If you have somebody who's dying and you're really afraid, what I would suggest and recommend is to leave your fear at the door before you enter the house. You can pick it up on your way out. I promise not go away. You can just drop it off at the door, go in, because what happens is there's a transference of energy.
Right.
And when somebody's dying and they're not really afraid, but you're afraid, and you come in and it's like, and then they're lying there going, "Why are they supposed to be afraid?" I mean,
right.
It kind of confuses
yeah,
the energy.
I was feeling peaceful and zen and
I was
accepting
pretty
it
good
all.
until you came in.
Yeah. And then Uncle Bill comes in with all his phobias, his death phobic ways, and just like, "Oh my God, what do I say? This
and they
is weird.
talk
This
about
is
them like
creepy."
they're not even there. It's like, wait a minute, what am I, borscht? I mean,
well, that's what I love too, is because a lot of people, when they think about dying or death, they think that there is no humor, there is no joy, there is no laughter.
Got to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Keep your sense of humor. Who said? Where is it written? You tell me where it's written, where we say when we're sick and dying, we have to let go of our humor. Has to be serious.
Right.
It's serious enough.
I know. Why
How
make it
much more serious can you get?
Yeah.
It's an intense human experience.
I mean, I do feel like if I were in that position, I would want to be treated as I am in life.
Living.
Yeah.
Treat them as if they're living,
Yeah.
because they are.
Right.
They're living until they're not.
Mm. And we were talking earlier, we came out to the desert for the meteor shower tonight, and because it's got the dark skies. And before we came here to check into our lovely Airbnb, we went to the Integratron for a sound bath. And you can check that place out. It's integratron.com. It's amazing. It's got a wild and wacky history, but it's the only perfect acoustic structure in North America. And they have these quartz crystal mineral bowls. And I'm sure that if you live in a big city, you'll see advertisements for yoga classes and sound baths and things like that. But and then it's like rubber mallet that goes around each crystal bowl. It's almost like a finger on a wine glass, and it makes different tones and
they're different sizes.
Yeah.
So they represent each chakra, and each chakra has a different tone that your own body resonates.
And you
so
can
we're
feel
sound.
it. Yeah, it's
we
crazy.
do sound.
I love that. Yeah, we're the instrument.
We're the instrument. And so the sound bath just allows us to be one with the sound, because we emit sound too. And so the sound and the sound merge, and they kind of melt together. And that's why I think we feel like we disappear.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like you have a soul massage. You can feel your molecules moving, because we are made up so much of water. And you've seen all of the videos from, I think it's the Japanese doctor, was it Emoto? Yeah, and the effect of the sound vibration on, water and cells. And it just, we were just kind of dazed, stumbling out of the Integratron, because we were talking about how it feels like you had a soul massage. It feels like you had some kind of sonic Q-tip just go inside your body and
that's
just
a good description.
take out all the crap,
Exactly.
But and there were 30 other people, and we just had a lovely sound bath, and so we're doing our Facebook Live very relaxed.
That's right.
But I want to know, like, where you guys are tuning in from, and also, before I ask you another question, where can people get in touch with you if they want a new life coach, or if they want to know more about Twilight Brigade or death midwifery? Where can they get you?
Shelley, Shelley at lovelifeandbeyond.com. That's
Great.
my email. Or they can go to the website, lovelifeandbeyond.com. And lovelifeandbeyond.com is a blog site where I'm writing about grief. I'm writing about stages. I'm writing from, and you'll see some of them are funny. I mean, I do bring
She's a funny lady.
I can't help it.
I know.
I can't help it. I mean, you don't change your personality.
Yeah.
When
you go.
And when we take ourselves so seriously in life, we strip the very joy out of ourselves.
I know.
We do it to ourselves.
We were just talking in the car on the way out here, because, it's one of those things where I used to find it so, not offensive, but people would say, "You're so funny," and Amy's so funny. And I used to think, no, I want to be sexy, mysterious, and alluring. I want to be we can't figure that Amy out. She's
an enigma.
She is an enigma. She is an enigma. She is so mysterious. And now, I just think, oh my gosh, it's the greatest honor to be described as funny, and to have someone
could make
Yes.
tickle your fancy, tickle your heart, make you laugh. I mean, you know what it feels like when you laugh so hard you cry. I mean, it's such a great release.
So I'm happy. So if I died tomorrow, if a meteor or if any aliens come and land behind us and you know, abduct me, I've lived a very happy life.
I feel the same.
Yeah. Hashtag winning.
Hashtag winning at life.
Okay, so I wanted to talk more about grief because we've been talking a lot about to the Grievers and Groovers about how hard the holidays are. And, you know, my mom died 5 years ago and my dad died a year and a half ago. And yet this Christmas seems one of the hardest Christmases for me. It just feels like, I don't know. And I was kind of caught by surprise at how kind of griefy I'm feeling. And I spoke to a couple of friends of mine who actually have lost their loved ones in the last couple of years too. And, you know, they all agree. So what is it about Christmas that just kind of pushes your grief buttons?
Look, Christmas is about sharing. Christmas is about showing your love for each other. Christmas is gift giving. I mean, Christmas is gathering. Christmas is, you know, family, friends. I mean, all those holidays are ways to bring us together. And when we don't have the ones that we love that are not able to be with us anymore physically,
right,
it feels sad. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's a normal, natural, beautiful feeling because you love.
Right.
When we love, we feel. If we didn't love, we wouldn't feel. But that's the beauty about being alive,
right,
and having the gift of being human, to be able to feel, to be able to have our heart break, you know, to be able to feel all those sensations of being human. Otherwise, we'd still be spirit.
Right.
I mean, that's the joy of spirit marrying human.
I love it.
For the time, so that we can ponder all these feelings that we have and sort them out and not sort them out.
Right.
Feel them and not feel them.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to feel crappy if you're grieving. It's okay, you know. It just is. And I'm trying to like give myself the advice that I would give somebody else. You know, if somebody else said, you know, look, you know, even though my parents died a while ago, but I'm still feeling griefy, I would be like, be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself.
That's
just
right.
Acknowledge that it's okay, you know, and that it's, you know, my thing is it's not going to be Christmas forever. You know, it's just the holidays
it's
are going to
one day a year.
Exactly. You know, I mean, I used to joke with my my dad about, you know, happy Thanksgiving, or as the rest of the world says, happy Thursday, you know.
Right.
So it's just another day, and it's okay if it's just another day.
And it's somebody else's birthday.
And it is, yeah. It's true. It's true. But it's one of those things. It's, you know, I feel like I kind of have tried to turn the corner with my grief over the holidays by, instead of focusing on they're not here, I don't have them, to I'm so grateful that I had them. It definitely transmutes that energy. It doesn't make it, you know, too, you know, different, obviously, because they're still dead. But I definitely felt like a shift of, oh, you know, I gotta maybe remind myself to kind of revisit the gratitude a little more, and then that kind of softens the oh my God, woe is me, and they're forever, and I can't talk to them, and I want to call them, and you know. That
and
we
also have a tendency of feeling guilty for being joyful.
Right.
So there's that in that equation, because we almost feel like they're not here. It's not okay. I'm supposed to be sad.
Right.
And then so there's that too. So there's a judgment about if we're not feeling sad and we're being really joyful,
right?
Like, what, you don't care?
Yeah.
You know, what? You don't care about me anymore? You were supposed to be sad the rest of your life.
I know, forever
and ever. And no,
yeah, it's true.
So it brings up all kinds of emotions. You know? And you're right. I think the most important thing is to be kind and tender and gentle on yourself. And people that you love, and show them you love them, and tell them you love them. Yeah. Don't let a day go by without telling them you love them. Not a moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned from the cumulative grief that I've had in the last years. You know, it's just, there's no time like the present. And so I mentioned this last week as a potential Christmas present for someone, for my dad's birthday present for his 70th birthday, I wrote out 70 memories that I had of him that I will carry with me forever, you know.
Beautiful.
And I sent that to him, and you know, he was like a tough guy. He wasn't super emotional, but he said to me, "Oh, I got that 50 ways to leave your lover thing you sent me," you know, which was 70 memories, you know.
Who was that?
That's my dad.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 50 ways to leave your lover.
Right.
I was like, and
but
I
you
said,
gave it to him before he died.
yeah, I gave it to him. He
That's
died,
another key.
yeah, he died when he was 72, and I sent it to him for his 70th birthday.
Fantastic.
But my mom had already died, and I knew how time was precious. And
right.
for some reason, I don't know, when my mom died, I just got like this cosmic download of like what's important in life, and it just simplified everything. It's just, and who loves you. That's it. That's all that matters. It's what I call in the Good to Go paperwork, the DBP, the deathbed perspective.
Yeah.
You know, because
right.
I mean, you're lucky if you're going to have your memories.
Right.
But even if you don't, all that matters is who you love and who's loved you.
Right.
And that's it.
Exactly.
And that, you know, love is all that matters.
Love is all that matters.
I see a couple people tuning in. We're going to wrap up. We're almost done, but I would love to know where you're tuning in from and how the feed is going. I know it is a little jumpy, but I've been kind of keeping an eye on it while I've been talking to Shelley, and I noticed that it is a little jumpy, but at least you guys can hear us. But another thing about grief too is I was talking to some friends who had lost some people close to them, and they were expressing, and I've never really heard or encountered this before, but then it kind of resonated of the further you get away from, you know, the death date, you know, as time passes, you feel like the less you're grieving, the further away from your loved one you are. It's almost like if you grieve them, they're still really intensely around you. And I kind of never thought of that before. I was just wondering if you could just.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I just had a conversation with my mentor, and we were talking about that, and she said sometimes spirits don't want to linger.
Right.
They don't want to hang out very long. It's
right.
not good for them. And so if you don't feel them around you, that's okay too.
Yeah.
You know that, and if you do, then say hi and, you know, wish them well, and yeah. And don't take too much time, and
right.
just allow that to be okay too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I think if we just allow life to be okay, and every incident, I mean, some incidents are more horrible than others.
Of course,
I'm not saying
no.
every incident in the whole world is going to be hunky-dory. That doesn't even come close. But in our everyday life, let me put it that way. In our everyday life, my sense is that one of the most important things is to walk with a sense of well-being and a sense of it's okay. This is part of the human journey. This is part of the deal. This is part of what I signed up for in being human.
Right.
And so if we can allow ourselves to navigate through life, filling it up. I mean, as for me, I want to cram in as many experiences as I can into this life.
Yeah.
And so I feel excited and I feel full, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Right.
But I just know inside of me that it's okay.
Oh, I love that. And grief is so individual, and death is so individual. There's just no textbook on the right way or the wrong way, or that, you know, it's just kind of, it's just such an individual thing. And I definitely, and that's why I preach with the advanced planning, you know, it's so important to express your individuality, you know, in the way that you die and in the way that you want to be remembered and want to have left behind, you know. In the Good to Go paperwork, it asks about your legacy. What legacy do you want to leave behind? It's not just a history of logistics of your bills and your social media passwords. It's a history of your joy. You know, what are the things that brought you joy? Because those are the things that I find I connect to my loved ones, you know, through is, you know, my dad loved Cincinnati Reds baseball, and you can bet opening day, you know, whenever I see the Reds, you know, I think of him. And
exactly,
you know, so it's through his joy rather than, you know, oh, the ICU and the beeps and the buzzers and all of that.
That's such a small portion of his life.
I know, and yet it's such a prevailing.
We
Yes.
make that bigger than the whole life.
It's so true. And our loved ones wouldn't want that. They wouldn't
No.
want us to, dwell on how they
No.
went out. But anyway, look, the sun is setting in the distance, and we're going to take off our sunglasses. We're not trying to be Hollywood celebrities. It was sunny in a minute ago before the sun was setting. I just wanted to tell everybody to come over and visit me on Instagram and Twitter, and it's at Good to Go Peace. And I went ahead and put up a couple Insta stories from the crazy Integratron, so you guys can check that out. Please follow Shelley's page. It's at Love Life and Beyond. It's on Facebook. And if you've got any questions, I'm telling you, I love Shelley. She's got so much lovely wisdom and such a great sense of humor. And she's really, guided me and supported me. And I think everybody needs a Shelley in their lives. So go to Love Life and Beyond and check out Shelley. Thanks for being with us in the desert. Before I hit finish for the live feed, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to see if you can get a shot of the sunset through the computer. And if not, I'll apologize in advance. I think while we're out here in this beautiful desert, which is also my spiritual home, there's our car. Let's see if you can see the sunset. There we go. I mean, obviously the sun's coming in the middle, but beautiful rays. I love it. Where are you? Hi. All right, you guys, Grievers and Groovers, tune in next week, next Wednesday. I think we're going to start going at a later time. So I think we're going to go to 4:30. Let's give it a go. And take care. We're getting through the holidays. We're going to do it together. And I'm sending all my love out to your grieving tender hearts, and hope that you're learning to focus on some joy today and enjoy the sunset and the meteor shower if you live anywhere where you can catch those. All right. Love you guys.